Welcome back to Zero Day Digest. I'm Dr. Elias Sterling. Today, we are documenting a chilling paradigm shift in the adversarial playbook. For decades, the security industry has operated under the assumption that ransomware actors prefer the relative safety of a remote terminal thousands of miles away. That boundary has just dissolved. The FBI's Internet Crime Complaint Center has issued a severe advisory warning that the Silent Ransom Group, also tracked as Lunar Moth, is actively taking social engineering entirely offline. They are sending physical operatives directly into corporate offices to breach network perimeters in person. The campaign typically initiates through highly targeted phishing, where threat actors impersonate internal IT support personnel over the phone to dupe employees into granting initial remote access. But where standard groups stop, SRG escalates. In multiple confirmed incidents, the group has deployed physical assets, human operatives, to stroll right through the front door of target law firms. Their goal is simple yet audacious: gain physical proximity to internal workstations or server closets to directly exfiltrate data and drop network implants, bypassing every digital firewall and zero-trust proxy you have running at the edge. If you think the convergence of digital exploits and physical infrastructure ends with office break-ins, look at what just unfolded in the sports and entertainment sector. Dutch police have apprehended a 35-year-old national behind a massive network intrusion at the Ajax Amsterdam Football Club. While the initial reporting focused on the exfiltration of personal data belonging to over 342,000 fans and season ticket holders, the technical reality is far more severe. The attacker successfully pivoted from a standard web vulnerability deep into the club's live event operations console. This wasn't a standard data grab. The threat actor gained authenticated control over the stadium's active blacklists and stadium ban records. This granted them the explicit technical capability to alter, erase, or manipulate physical ban enforcement mechanisms at the gate turnstiles. In a high-stakes live event environment, weaponizing access controls directly threatens crowd safety and operational security. It proves that today's adversaries are increasingly targeting systems where a digital payload commands a direct kinetic or physical outcome. To round out our deep dive, a groundbreaking 5-year study from the Ransom News research team has laid bare the grim reality of mass database extortion. Analyzing over 65,000 publicly exposed databases, researchers discovered that nearly half were targeted by automated wipe attacks. The data reveals an asymmetric operational truth. While script kiddies and automated bots successfully destroyed over 215 billion records, virtually no one paid them. Tracking 514 specific attacker cryptocurrency wallets revealed a measly total revenue of just $753,000. For defenders, the message is mathematical. If a database is exposed, its destruction is almost universally guaranteed, regardless of your willingness to negotiate. Turning to the critical exclusions that didn't make the mainstream evening news, we begin with a dual threat crisis hitting the enterprise resource planning core. SAP has dropped an emergency patch cycle to address two distinct near-maximum severity vulnerabilities carrying a catastrophic CVSS score of 9.6. These flaws strike directly at the heart of corporate operations, exposing both internal enterprise data structures and public-facing commercial transaction engines to unauthenticated remote exploitation. Let's dissect the mechanics. The first flaw, CVE-2026-6-34260, is a severe SQL injection vulnerability nestled within the SAP S/4 HANA Enterprise Search for ABAP. It permits an attacker to issue arbitrary back-end database queries, exposing proprietary financials and corporate data. Simultaneously, CVE-2026-34263 introduces a critical missing authentication check within SAP Commerce Cloud. Because this environment is by nature internet-facing, any remote threat actor can completely bypass structural access controls, hijacking the entire e-commerce infrastructure control plane. Patch these immediately. Meanwhile, a fascinating and highly disruptive escalation has occurred in the endpoint security space. An independent researcher operating under the handle Nightmare Eclipse unleashed a triad of exploit tools, dubbed Red Sun, Undefend, and BlueHammer. The anchor of this toolkit is CVE-2026-33825, a critical time of check to time of use race condition directly affecting the Microsoft Windows Defender threat remediation engine. By exploiting a microsecond synchronization gap during file analysis, an attacker holding baseline user privileges can force the engine into executing a system-level local privilege escalation. The fallout from this release has ignited a massive debate over code hosting governance. Following confirmed reports that state-sponsored threat actors successfully weaponized BlueHammer in the wild using compromised VPN credentials, the code repositories took drastic action. Within days of GitHub permanently terminating the researcher's presence, GitLab followed suit, completely suspending the Nightmare Eclipse account. This aggressive containment effort highlights the fine line between raw vulnerability research and the distribution of actionable, weaponized offensive tooling. Finally, we look at developer infrastructure under siege. CISA has aggressively expanded its known exploited vulnerabilities catalog to include a dangerous cluster of supply chain flaws. We are talking about CVE-202-6-8398, CVE-202-6-45321, and CVE-202-6-48027, which target Daemon Tools Lite, widely used TanStack packages, and the NX Console developer extension. These flaws enable remote code execution and silent credential harvesting directly from a developer's local workstation. By contaminating trusted registries and core extension ecosystems, threat actors are systematically poisoning the software supply chain before a single line of enterprise application code is ever compiled. Check the description for links. I'm Dr. Elias Sterling, decoding tomorrow's threats today. Stay secure.